You can do this, Mike. You got it.
It's always wondering, if the computer's going to do it or not, but it did. We are live. We have 0 people watching, but that's okay. We're used to that. Jay, how are you doing, and where are you from?
I am very well. I am from the accent, you can probably tell, from the land down under. I can ham it up if you want. A lot of people ask me to ham up the accent, but I'm west of Sydney, so I'm in a little town in the Blue Mountains, so small that you could literally spend a day, maybe 2 days there. I'll be fair, 3 days, and knocking on random doors, and you'd probably find me.
How many people are we talking about in this town?
Less than 2,000.
Okay, that's
13 streets.
Okay,
it'd be great being a postman there, wouldn't it? Your job would be done by like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Pretty much.
They zip around. Bob, here's your mail.
No, it's a little old lady that zips around in like it's like a 2-door car. She just drives on the wrong side of the road, or the right side of the road for you, but just so she can put it in. Doesn't have to get out. Up on the lawns.
Yep.
Door delivery. That's all good. Mike, did we tell anybody that we were doing this tonight?
Yes, we did 2 days ago, and I shared Jay's Twitter post. So, at least 13 people must have seen. We have 1 viewer. So,
and we are competing against Josh over at Already Booked too.
Well, there you go.
Bastard. How dare he? It's going to be a very
This is why I pre-record my podcast.
We started.
Watch it when you like.
That's how we started this thing. Yeah. Dan's here. Well, then we're okay.
Hey, Dan. The recorder.
And we realized that doing it live was just a lot less work. And we are, Mike and I, at heart, very lazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, this just seemed a better way to go. And it's easier too if you're on a timeline, and if you get someone who's just kind of dragging, it's like, oh, look at the time, got to go. And if you're recording it, you can't do that.
Yeah. No, we recorded an episode recently with someone who, before the episode was even over, before we were done recording, before I said, okay, the episode's over, she was like, oh, well, gotta go now. See ya.
The person you were interviewing?
Yeah, like mid, and it was just like, there's no way to make her look good. Like it's just she's there and then she's gone.
Just like, and she just like clicked out. I mean, it was like no fade to black, just
gone. Yeah,
we won't do that to you. Well, whether or not you do it to us, I guess, is the case.
Well, I'm on a wheelie chair, so I can just kind of
just exit stage left really kind of slowly.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've seen the show or not before, because if you had, you probably would have taken most of that stuff down behind you, because EL's going to insist that you talk about every single piece. So when he comes on.
That's right.
But he's not here. So
he's not here yet. But what do you have? Tell us first of all, tell us about your emu book, because that's just hysterical. We'll cover. How
about you list your books in total first, and then we can go back to the emu book thing later.
All right. Well, this is the bestseller, Letters from the Emu War, based on a true story. We will get into that. Wedding Night trilogy, romantic comedy with zombies and violence. And my latest one, it's behind a turtle. It's called Ancora. So multi-genre. I kind of set out to see what I could do, what I'm good at. I'm dipping my toe in everything that I can, and but I'm stuck in sci-fi at the moment.
Rom-com, sci-fi. The Emu War is what? I'm going to assume it's comedy something.
Oh no, well, yeah, it's pure comedy. But it's played dead serious. But it's written by emus, so.
Okay. I guess they
did win, right?
Yeah, and I just always said, look, victory. Or what do they say? Like, history is written by those who win.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
So they better write the book,
So it's like letters from letters from the soldiers in the field back to the loved ones,
Yeah.
all of the Civil War.
It's pretty much it. Look, there's two things I did at the time. I was, Hamilton the musical just came out, so I lent heavily into that Civil War kind of thing. So in my head, the emus are trying to break away from the monarchy, sort of thing.
Right.
But it's very, very letters based. Ken Burns. So,
Nice.
so there's about 8 characters writing back and forth to each other, and they just tell you what's happening at home. They tell you what's happening at the war, and there's newspaper articles and recruitment posters.
We don't ask people to do this often, but just open it up to a random page and read us part of a letter, if you would.
Okay. A letter or like a journal? Because journals are shorter.
Yeah, we don't care either.
You don't care.
You can find this book on his website. It's scrolling along the bottom, folks.
All right. I'll try to find a page that's in the war. Okay, so this is November 16th, 1932. It is from John Feathers to his wife, Greta. Dearest Greta, times move slower here in the West. It feels like we have been fighting this war for years. Edward keeps telling us to trust the All-Feather to see us through. Trust in each other and trust this war will not last. I see my brothers waver from time to time. I can understand why. To be under constant pebble spitting from the enemy. Pebble spitting is basically machine guns. They call them pebbles. They've got their own terminology. Can wear a bird down. Some don't sleep as well as they used to. The sound of battle still echoes through their ears. I sat with James this morning. Quite a young bird. Barely lost his stripes. He hides his fear well. Barely even bobs his head under pressure. These are the birds to watch out for. They are unpredictable, even to their own. I reminded him of why we fight and encouraged him not to lose his focus and always keep an eye out for the mob at large. I pray the All-Feather will give him a sound mind. We are in a time most fathers would never want their sons to live in. All we can do is eat the melon that's in front of us. Life goes on. Please tell the children I am thinking of them and cannot wait to see them once this war comes to an end. Yours always, John Feathers. I have not read this. I have not read this in like 5 years.
How long did the Emu War last? Because there was 2.
No, well, there was 2. It's 2 months essentially. There was 2 attempts. Okay. They went out there. They tried to kill them. They couldn't, and then they tried again, and then they couldn't, and then they went, "Oh well, war over."
So they're just trying to eradicate the emus?
Yeah, well, there was 20,000 of them. It was a drought and the Great Depression. So they basically, 20,000 of them migrated west and just started destroying crops and annihilate. Like, it was a serious problem. Yeah. But they just figured we could go out there with machine guns and mow them down. But it was like 10 rounds per bird. Like, you had to shoot them in the head, essentially, to kill them. And then in the end, what was it? They put out a bounty system. So basically, anyone that kills a bird gets $20 or something. And
that never works, because then you get people like, right, I'm going to raise emus, right?
Yeah. If I want to well, they killed 60,000 birds in 6 months or something.
But every time that's ever been tried anywhere else, they've done it in this country with different things. You always get some enterprising young lad who says, right, I'm just going to raise these things and have a never-ending supply and keep turning them in. Yeah, and then when the government finally says, okay, this is stupid, we can't do this anymore, and they cut off the funding, these people release all of these things that they've made, and it makes the initial problem worse at the end. Yeah.
No, well, it was 1932, so.
Ro, are you saying the bureaucracy doesn't always do the best thing?
I didn't say it implicitly, but I think Are
you part of the bureaucracy, Ro?
Oh, I'm a very big part of the bureaucracy. I am the bureaucracy, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so when did your latest book come out?
June 1st.
Oh, so like just a couple weeks ago. Yeah. And how's that working out for you?
It's well, I'm learning quickly that the best way to sell a book is to publish another book, because Emu War is outselling it at the moment.
That whole publish another book thing. There's more to it than that, I think.
Yeah.
Because like I've never really done anything in the way of trying to promote my books. And just before we came on this, I checked, because I still check KDP every now and then with that, joyful enthusiasm. And I sold a book, and I was very excited, like an actual paperback.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, right? That's
sold one paperback this year.
Oh,
from the interwebs, that is. I've sold more at Comic-Cons, but
I had a lady from Serbia message me or email me the other day, a couple of weeks ago, saying she was trying to buy my book, but the Emu War book, but she couldn't get it there. So she asked for one from me and was willing to pay the insane shipping prices to get it sent to Serbia.
Serbia?
Serbia.
You asked her, how the hell did you hear about my book?
Yeah, I did. And she said she was Googling Emu books, and mine was like one at the top of the list, and she just had to have it,
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
I'm like, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So it's in
You're
Serbia
in a
right now.
classroom in Serbia somewhere. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You're going to take that in, show her students or something.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you have like a lot of events that you can take stuff to where you are?
Not really. We have a market that they do every weekend, but it's like you've got to pay a certain amount to have a store. You've got to pay insurance. You've got to pay a lot to the point that you'd want to be. It wouldn't almost be worth it.
In your town?
Not in my town, but like 20 minutes away.
So in a big town?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My town used to have markets and that, but anytime they have them now, it's like, there's 5 stalls and,
and once you sold it to your neighbor, they don't want another copy, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Like they've got it.
Buy one because you have a neighbor. After that,
yeah. Although the neighbors next to us, like they move all the time because we've got a military base about 20 minutes away, and it's like the house that they put people in every time. It's like someone gets moved.
Yeah.
Oh, new family comes in, they move there. Then they've been shipped off to another base. Swap families.
So, I have a question for you that's semi-serious because I worry about these things. So I was reading about the cassowary.
Mm-hmm.
So if a cassowary and an emu were to fight, how would this end?
Cassowary would annihilate them.
Okay. Cassowary being more aggressive, I'm assuming.
And a higher kill count, and they actually have raptor claws on their feet, so
they're like a real dinosaur.
They are, yeah, yeah.
Oh.
And they freak me out.
There's a YouTube video of a guy on a beach, and he's like 3 feet from one.
Wow.
And the thing is, its head comes up to like his neck. They're huge. Yeah.
There's 3 types of them. There's a dwarf cassowary, and it's like twice the size of a rooster or something. And they're not as deadly. They wouldn't kill you, but.
I just saw a video. Mother and their kid were out, and all of a sudden they start running, and the kid ran for the door, and then the cassowary came up after him. They closed the glass sliding door, and it sat there and was like pecking at the glass. And they're like, "Yeah, they managed to get in just in time." Yeah, there we go.
Now you have to turn around and explain what everything is. Sorry.
Asian dragon. I don't know. I don't have an Asian dragon.
I think it's those books or something. I don't know.
Well, these are books that were given to me, or that I kind of. We had a family friend pass away, and he had a crap load of books, and these are like all Australian classics from like, I think the earliest ones are like 1890 or something. But Ninja Turtles. Star Wars.
He's saying it's a reflection in the glass, so it must be in front of you.
We've got Ninja Turtles. You got a floating DeLorean, a Ninja Turtle, and probably you can't see down there. There's a Horizon Zero Dawn thing.
So, do you like Ninja Turtles, Jay?
Yeah, I do. I love them. I got to give my book to one of the creators a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Well, a guy who does covers for Mike and I actually did some TMNT comic book covers a number of years ago.
Oh, cool.
You know, I've never really got into the turtles myself. I don't know. I mean, they're fine. I can never tell them apart. I know it's a different color. It wouldn't take that long to figure out. I just never did.
Well, originally they were all red, so you never would have figured them out because it didn't start as a kids thing. They just marketed it as one after the comic book came a huge success, and then I loved them as a kid, and then I grew up, and then they started releasing more adult style turtle stuff, and I just
So, bro, you and I are too old. My brother Danny, he got into the turtles and he got into G.I. Joe, but I was too old and past it at that point. So,
yeah, we're still the school of Acme anvils and stuff like that.
Yes, yes.
So your emu book, and I promise this will be the last thing I ask about your emu book, and it probably won't. Did you were telling us earlier you had someone pick that up and publish it for a bit?
Yeah, well, I released it myself. Originally it was going to be a movie. It almost got turned into a movie back in 2018, 2019, maybe roughly then.
From like an Australian company, or?
No, well, I moved back to my hometown, and then I started doing some lawn mowing jobs and stuff like that. And the guy on my street knew Ridley Scott, just out of the blue. And then we got talking, and he's like, "Have you thought about writing screenplays?" I started writing screenplays, see if I could do it. The first thing I wrote was an Emu War thing, and he said, "Let's make it." And I said, "What?" And then it got into pre-production with it was basically like. We're going to go kind of independent, but we had people from Happy Feet involved and all the 3D animated things, and it just imploded and fell apart. So,
oh man!
And then the idea stayed with me. So I said, I don't know how I thought about it, why I thought about it, where I was when I thought about it, but I said, let's make a book. I'm going to make a book, and didn't know how to do anything at all. Turned it into a book, and then within 2 months of it coming out, I got approached by a publisher. And then they kind of showed me how books were made, and then got a whole update, got some whole new art done, and then they went bankrupt, so I had to redo it all myself again.
Okay, at least you learned something in the process. That's always nice.
Yeah. Well, I'm very confident with publishing books now. Like,
So the movie thing, did it make it to the point where they gave you any money?
No.
That sucks. Oh, you probably like right before that point, right?
Yeah. It's like we were still building the team, getting people involved, and just one key player, like she had to pull out for some reason. I can't even remember why. She pulled out, and she was like the integral. People wanted to work with her. She pulled out. They went, I won't bother.
Do you send her Christmas cards every year?
No, no. I actually never even met her.
So. It's probably just as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So there's that one, and then you did a rom-com.
Yeah, it's that was my second stab at screenplay writing. It was a trilogy of the movie was a trilogy of medieval themed Bucks party that gets interrupted by the zombie apocalypse. So it's called Bucks Night with a K, and then the second one's called Hen's Night, and the third one's called Wedding Night. So it's basically following these groups of people trying to get married during the zombie apocalypse, and there's swords and medieval weaponry and all sorts of shenanigans going on.
But it takes place during like the first one during the guy's stag do.
Yeah.
And then, okay.
Yeah, and then the second one runs parallel to that with the Hen's Night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the third one's basically a couple of years down the track, and they just trying to find a priest to marry them in the zombie apocalypse. So it's unique.
And so you did the screenplay, but then you turned that into a book too?
Yeah, I just turned them into books. Yeah.
And this latest one, you just said, you know what? Let's just skip that step and let's just write a book.
No, well, originally I tried because the idea came to me before I even were writing books. So I could never pin it down. I could never realize how I wanted to do it. I never could figure it out. And then once I'd started writing books, I went, you know what? I'll try it as a book. And then it just happened. Like it just fell onto the page. Had it done pretty quick.
Oh, that must be nice.
Yeah.
I write short books. I write short books.
How many words is
Ancora?
Ancora, yeah.
It's 47,000 words, something like that, almost 50.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And what made you genre hop? I mean, isn't it more difficult, or do people now just expect something different from you?
No, well, like I said, I've been trying all the genres. It's maybe I get ideas so randomly. I have ideas for different genres already, but I just want to still figure out what I'm good at, what my jam is. And a lot of people are saying that they love this book and they love this genre, and I'm going to be in this kind of world for the next 3 books.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to do a series. I'm working on a series, but I may come back to different genres at some point.
So tell us about Ancora then.
It's okay. It's a bit of a sci-fi. It's a mishmash of genres. It's what I tend to do. Someone told me it was a marketer's nightmare because they couldn't pin it down, like what it was. But it's 300 years after an alien invasion. Mankind's living in the wilderness because the alien tech doesn't work there. So we're out there trying to survive. The aliens come in on foot with medieval weaponry trying to hunt us down, essentially. And you've got our protagonist trying to find a way to defeat the aliens, even though that most of humans have given up the fight.
Trying to find a way to speak alien?
Defeat them.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that's an odd.
No.
So the aliens aren't happy with the people just living in the woods on their own.
No, they just want to wipe them out.
Yeah, I feel that way sometimes too. I get it.
Yeah.
Do the humans enlist cassowaries?
No, that's a good that's a good
idea. We didn't kill all those emus.
Well, if the aliens invaded, they probably would have wiped out, all potential threats. So maybe the cassowaries would have been first to go. Maybe the cassowaries are aliens.
Yeah, maybe there's going to be a 5-book series now.
Hey, Tim's here. Tim,
So
are you dual? I just wanted to ask him if he's dual laptopping because there's 2 lives going on.
He probably has 4 or 5 going. I mean, he's on every podcast, on every show.
Tim's got to set up like an evil lair, He's just got like half a dozen screens around him, kind of sitting there stroking his beard with an evil laugh. Eating Timbits.
He's going to turn his beard into a hand so he can type on more computers. It's working.
Oh man, testing. Oh, we're sorry. So I mean, I've heard that too. That if you are having a mashup of genres like that, then it's really difficult to, even if you're just doing it in Amazon or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't let you pick all of them, right?
Right.
So, other than sci-fi, what would you say? I mean, okay, so you got sci-fi. You don't have any zombies in this one.
No.
But aliens and sci-fi, those go together.
Yep.
What else has it got?
Definitely supernatural. There's a bit of supernatural elements to it. There's mystery, thriller, even survival. I mean, it's got everything. Like I don't when I it's the last question I ask when I think about a story I'm going to write. Is not, okay, what genre is this going to be? I just want to tell a story.
Right.
Well,
I mean, I guess if you think about it, right, the human condition isn't just one thing. It's a little bit of everything. But there again, we're not trying to package it up and sell it. So
yeah, that's it.
Where does it take place?
Well, it's on Earth, but I did want to keep it pretty broad. But then I was on all caps the other time. They go, and Tim and Isaac are saying, lean into the Australian thing because it's modeled off the Blue Mountains. So I think I'm just going to lean in and say it's Australia. It's.
The beautiful thing about that is if you tell Americans that, they'll be like, well, I don't know what it's like. We're the kangaroo. That's all I know. And you can tell us anything and we'll believe you.
Yeah. Well, I am working on the prequel at the moment and I just brought kangaroos into it. So,
well, there you go.
It's done.
And how do the kangaroos kill people?
They don't. They're food.
Well, I just wanted to check.
I mean, they can. Like the kangaroos who are near where I live are friendly and they run away. But like if you're up north or west, the reds will kill you.
Like in New York. like a New York animal, right?
Yeah.
Walk away and give you a bad look.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have more like Canadian animals in your area.
No, well, we got the eastern brown snake, which will kill you pretty quickly.
We had an Australian on not too long ago, and I was looking up some stuff, and because I've always been under that impression too, like why would you want to go to a country where everything can kill you?
Yeah.
And it turns out there's not as much stuff will kill you in Australia as will kill you in a lot of other places, like the United States.
Yeah.
So I'd laugh if Ro was secretly Steve in a romance. Who's Steve?
And you have to be on Twitter.
Huh?
You have to be on Twitter to know.
Be on Twitter.
I am not on Twitter. Glad I don't know. I want killed by a kangaroo on Tombstone.
Yeah, they'll bounce on that. They literally stand on their tail and just kick you.
Nice.
Yeah, and there's probably a lot of. I mean, if it can bounce them that far, it's probably a little power behind that. But if you're that close to a kangaroo, it's like these people out in Yellowstone. They got killed by a bison because they wanted to go pet it. Well, that was Darwin at that point, right? I mean,
that's it.
I don't want to say you deserved it, but
yeah, you just stay awake, keep your distance. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, it's like you see on TikTok. These people have like freaking leopards and shit like that and pumas as pets, right?
Yeah,
it's like it's all fun and games until you haven't fed it long enough.
Yeah,
it's gonna. Yeah.
Are you saying I shouldn't get you a hyena for your birthday?
You can get it to me for my birthday, but I'm not going to keep it in my house.
You'll probably sell it.
Yeah. Return to sender. Do not feed.
There's a video of a zookeeper brushing a hyena's teeth.
Now they just fed that thing.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, or it's tranked it or something.
Yeah.
So what do you do regularly? What's your normal job, Jay?
A bit of everything. I dog sit, I lawn mow, I garden. I'm just scraping by, really. I write more than I work at the moment.
Well, writing is work, so that's all work that counts.
I mean, I write more than I work, but I get a steady paycheck.
He lives in a country where he doesn't have to worry about health insurance, though, Mike.
Well, that's true.
It's useless to me. It's useless to me though. I haven't been to the hospital for anything.
Don't say it. Don't finish that sentence.
You're hit by a spider or something now, or a snake.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Don't do it.
Okay.
You're going to be the first person to get attacked by a wombat.
Wombats are lovely.
They can run. They can run though, man. They're faster than you think.
Those big fat bastards. The wombats. Yeah. Really?
And
what do they do when they get there? They just
bowl you over.
Well, they're pretty big or something, and just rub up against you, or what? They're just.
Look, you can hit a kangaroo, and your car might be all right. But if you hit a wombat, no,
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, wombats will total your car, and then they'll walk away.
Because they're not that. I mean, they're not that big, are they?
Some get pretty big.
Like how big? I know we're not talking about your book at all. This has gone down a really weird place.
No, I've seen one probably at least maybe the size of a cattle dog, maybe just under a cattle dog, or do you know a cattle dog?
A dingo.
Yeah, I'd say a little bit smaller than a dingo.
I swore I'd never do this.
You're Googling how big?
I'm not Googling anything.
Yeah.
I've never asked someone to say a stupid thing.
Okay.
But I'd like you to dial up the Australianness.
All
if
right.
you would, because you said you would at the beginning. And say a dingo ate my baby.
A dingo ate my baby.
Thank you.
See, and I'm just sitting here quietly going, am I going to ask him about the koala bears and chlamydia?
That was next. I was getting to that. What the hell is up with that? Who did that?
I don't know, but it's strange considering they sleep most of the day and they're
Is
high
it the
on.
eucalyptus leaves?
Yeah, well, they're literally high all the time.
Yeah, right. They look like surfers with just a lot more fur,
Yeah.
Raw. Soft.
Yeah.
Okay. John 4 says he has a cattle dog.
Yeah. So actually, my first dog was a cattle dog pit bull mix. So
wow.
Yeah, she set the rules and everyone obeyed. Yeah.
So you also do. I'm going to actually bring this back somewhere.
Good save, Ro.
Sorry. Got a chlamydia thing away my baby. You also do book trailers.
Yes, I mainly do I love doing them for myself mainly, but I've done a few. I've done a few for some friends as well.
And you're one of the few authors I've seen with a merch tab.
Yes, I just recently put up some merch for myself and my podcast as well.
So what's your podcast? Do you just do this kind of thing where you talk to?
Yeah, we just talk to authors, ask them silly questions, and then get people to buy their books.
I was going to say, you actually talk about the book?
Yeah.
Do you talk about the books on the show, or are you like us and just all over the place?
Oh, so you're not like us.
No, 50-50. We start off with icebreakers and silly questions, and then we get into the author talk.
So if you were on your show, what would you ask you?
If I was on my show, what would I ask me? Well, oh, geez.
It's not so easy, is it?
No, well, I'm having to think. Because usually I have a sheet note there.
You take notes?
No, I don't take notes. I just,
You prepare.
I half prepare.
Yeah.
I go list of icebreaker questions and then talking points, pretty much.
Oh, wow. See, we just rely on people logging in early, so we get like this 3 minutes to say, okay, what's interesting about you? That's pretty much it. Now, Tim, on the other hand, he stalks people.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They do their homework. Us, not so much.
Well, if you will put a photo with you with lipstick on the interwebs, people are going to find it.
That may be showing up on Monday. I made mascara today.
Did you really?
I did not apply it though.
Oh man, that would be great. You should put on everything you make in a week.
No, that I would end up stabbing myself in the eye.
So you're also a musician. What don't you do, man? You're a musician as well?
Yeah, I used to play in bands. Used to play in bands back in the day. That was what I wanted to do. And then I got to early 30s and I was like, I'm too old for this. Kind of dialed it back. Now I just dabble from time to time.
You're too old for it. I mean, isn't that the dream, right? Playing in a band?
Yeah, but I was playing punk rock and everyone is really far from me. Like all my bandmates moved away and it's like driving an hour and a half into the city to play a show and then getting back at 3 a.m. kind of.
That's part of the gig though, right? It's like
it is, yeah. And it wore me out, essentially.
Yeah, all that free booze and women, that's.
I was designated driver, so none of that for me.
Oh wow! Well, that's no wonder you quit. Screw that. It's like, come on, fellas, this is not right. We gotta have a rotor or something.
Yeah.
But you play solo stuff now, right?
Yeah, I dabble. I got a wedding gig. I got to play a wedding coming up. I played my cousin's wedding at the start of the year. Just acoustic stuff, and the only problem is you got to play songs you don't like and pretend you like it.
What's your least favorite song to play?
Oh, anything Ed Sheeran. But as you know, a wedding is always that stupid song.
I don't listen to Ed Sheeran, so I don't know what song this is. You speak.
That sounds like heaven. I was in all the shows. Something. It's left my mind, and I don't want to think about it right now.
Okay.
it's perfect or something. Something. I found a girl. Something like that. Yeah.
Get your guitar. Come on, play us a tune.
It's over. It's in my bedroom. I can't.
Okay, so how many weddings have you done? Just your cousins?
Yeah, just my cousins. Oh no, well, no. I played my sisters back in the day, but that's like 20 years ago, so that doesn't count.
So you haven't done it for anybody you don't know yet?
Yeah, I've got
But you
one
will this weekend.
No, I've got one coming up in September.
Oh, okay.
I don't know them, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, unless they get married again, you won't have to worry about what they think.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Well, you kind of do. It's a word of mouth thing. If you want to do it again.
If it's my last gig, sure.
Yeah. So if you were going to throw in, if it was your last gig and you knew that going in, and you were going to throw in a song or two that was not what they requested, what would you play?
Oh, I think I'd go The Wedding Singer and do Love Stinks.
I thought it was going to be some real kind of gnarly punk thing, but no, that's good.
No, well, I acoustify punk songs because a lot of punk songs have strong melodies and you can just slow it down and it sounds nice and pretty, and so I do that all the time.
Okay.
I was going to ask you what the dumbest thing you ever saw happen at a wedding was, but if it was at your cousins and your sisters, probably not too much. I mean, people tend to get pretty well lubricated at weddings, and
I always sign the guest book as someone else, though. That's my tradition because they never read it.
Someone famous that they might,
Yeah, I've written Hugh Jackman. I've written Captain America. I think Thanos was the last one.
Well, Hugh Jackman's better though because when they're older and they're going through it again and they've just totally forgotten everything, they go, Hugh Jackman was at our wedding. What the hell, really? And they will spend hours going through photo albums looking for him. Yeah. So you've done that, right? You've brought a little togetherness for the family. That's beautiful.
I have, yeah. But everyone I've told people that, and they've gone like, "Did you? What? I didn't know that." So they don't even read it. They don't even read their own guest books. That's why I do it.
So, who is your main character in Ancora?
Ancora, she's called Zia. She's got an animal companion called Tren.
And what is Tren? What kind
Tren? He is a mythological creature that I created. He is half wolf, half eagle.
Okay.
I agree, Tim.
Yes.
Tim McKay is now my hotel name.
Awesome. Next
you
wedding.
know who I am. I'm Tim McKay.
Yeah.
Oh. So, do you have a preferred method for slaying dragons?
Let's say from a distance. When I played Skyrim, I always used a bow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. A bow is a lot of fun in Skyrim, actually.
Yeah.
Just sit there and smoke people. Yeah.
Yeah. Before they leveled, I think when I first did it, like I up-leveled so much that I could one kill a dragon, and the music would go, and then I'd just like, poop, and over.
How long did you fucking play Skyrim, man?
Look, when it first came out,
how many years of your life did you dedicate to that?
A lot. I used to play a lot. Because when it first came out, me and three friends all brought our TVs to my place, one room, three guys, an entire weekend dedicated to Skyrim.
Skyrim's a fun game. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But wow.
Yeah.
I haven't played it in years now, but I was fully dedicated.
At least when you have that kind of a session with D&D, your hands are free to like eat and drink alcohol and whatever. But yeah, all games are. I mean, yeah, Tim. Man, like I tell my kids, there will never be a time in your life where you sit there and say, "I wish I would have played more Skyrim." So while it's fun and everything, it's called pause. Yeah. Okay. All right. Get off my lawn, damn it!
And get off our lawn,
you young whippersnappers.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mike?
Are we ready for the bald dome?
I think we should.
Well, I have to ask
seen-
you a question first.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead and ask your dumbass question. You know what he's going to say already.
Yeah, I know. He was in the previous show, so he knows what it is already.
Okay.
So what are you going to go with? The bad answer, Griffin, or the correct answer, T-Rex? And I'm not in any way trying to direct you.
well, the thing is, like, because I think both have value. But if we're putting this down the main street, look, you're saying you say it's the street of my town. I get to ride this thing. My town at peak hour traffic has at best 10 cars, so it's there's no real destruction here. But I'm going to go with, and this is purely because one of my favorite things as a kid was Dino Riders, so I got to go with the T-Rex.
All right, there you go. Good man. You're welcome back anytime.
Bonus points with laser guns attached.
Oh yes.
I don't believe a word of that. I think that you and Mike have just talked this over because Mike has somehow ingratiated his way onto your show. And
He's angling to come back because our 415 subscribers are just really big numbers to him. He can't wait.
I don't think that's true either. What's your subscriber list looking like, Jay? On your YouTube channel?
On personal ones, like 35 people, but the podcast is like, I think it's 1.1 or something, coming up on 1.2.
There you go. How long have you been doing it?
We hardly get the views,
1.2 what?
Thousand.
Okay.
Yeah. 1,200. Let's say 1,200. Almost 1,200.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hit and miss with the views. Apparently the algorithm's changed, and it's like subscribers doesn't mean anything anymore. It's the views, it's the likes, it's the whatever.
Damn algorithms.
Yeah, they keep changing.
I always have to look up how to spell it. It's really annoying. It's like a rhythm. I just have to look that up every time too. You would think I would be able to figure it out. What's your favorite color, Jay?
Favorite color? I don't really have one, but let's just say
Make
red.
one up.
Red.
Okay. So you have a red fizzy potion that is 100% effective in whatever it is that it does.
Only if you use it.
Only if you use it.
You can use it.
And I rolled the dice. And what character are we going to go with first? Are we going with an emu, or are we going with somebody from Ancora?
Well, I don't think Ancora would work because their primary thing is running, so they can't fight.
Well,
if that's what we're going with.
So we need a character who's going to be transported here.
You know what? Let's go cassowary. We're going to do a cassowary and call him Carl. Carl the cassowary.
Carl the cassowary. Okay.
You haven't. Oh, from your first book.
No,
he's just making a character up.
I'm just making a character up.
Oh, you're making one up. You're not. Okay.
Yeah. He wants to stick with the dinosaur theme, so he's going with the cassowary.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
So your cassowary is not exactly in his favorite place. He's in a desert oasis.
Oh, God.
See, the cassowary has no arms.
It has wings. It can adapt.
I don't know if it does. I can't find a picture with wings on it.
Anyway, the desert oasis. Hidden within the sprawling dunes, there's a crystalline spring bubbling, surrounded by date palms with heavy golden fruit. Mirages shimmer in the horizon, and the cool shade offers a respite for the wary traveler and nomadic sages. Beneath the shifting sands, fragments of gilded statues and jeweled daggers lay buried, guarded by sand foxes, whatever the hell those are, and emerald eyes that seem to flicker in and out of existence. So that is where Carl the cassowary is. And he has a red fizzy potion.
Which he can't drink because he has no arms.
You can put it down. And then
He has to pick it up in those giant claws of his.
Bro, he's Australian. They'll figure out a way to drink. Trust me.
All right. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's true. I've drunk with Australians in Munich before, and you're not wrong.
Okay, so now the question is, does the Carl want a common item or a weapon? A common item, he'll face a common animal. A weapon, he'll face a fantasy creature.
Let's go common, because I don't think he can wield. He can't wield a sword.
Well, he has been given 3 tallow candles.
3 tallow candles. How romantic.
Had he chosen a weapon, he would have got a Morning Star, which, But now, and I rolled a 20 for this, so I have to go all the way down in this sand dune with the cassowary that should not be there, holding 3 tallow candles and a red fizzy potion. He looks up, and it's not a mirage. It's an actual bison that is there who also wants a drink from the oasis.
And there's an American petting it.
So what does Carl the Cassowary do as this native Australian faces a Native American?
Oh, jeez. Well, if they both want the same water, I think he'd just kick it. I think he'd just go right in for the kick.
Nice.
Is this like a puddle, or is it like a river, or what?
It's an oasis.
An oasis. So, I mean, there's room for both of them, right?
Cassowaries are very aggressive.
Territorial.
Yeah.
It's not like he wants the sand.
Okay.
I mean, the date palms, they like jungle. So,
He's already rolled his 20.
Hey, you never know.
Now, when you try to attack with this cassowary, it's going to be a critical miss, and its toes are going to fall off.
It's a win-win. It's a win-win for me because I don't like cassowaries. They scare me. So.
Okay. All right. So you're going to go attack the bison.
I'm going for the attack.
A 5.
And you miss.
What's
Don't know
hard?
how you missed a bison.
Yeah, that is hard. So bison's what, going to charge?
I think the bison would just keep drinking, right? Because it didn't do anything to him. It just kind of waves his tail a little bit and go, "What the hell was that?" I don't think he's bothered. Not bothered.
I think you should lob the tallow candles at him or something, because if he just had glasses, he could use the glasses to start a fire on the candles, and then lob
a potion. Don't forget that.
Yeah, you do have a potion.
You know what? Let's do it. Let's drink the fizzy potion.
Okay, well, he drinks fizzy potion, and it's the Mist Weaver essence, so it turns the drinker into a mist cloud for 5 minutes.
Awesome.
But we are in the desert.
A no-armed cassowary.
But I'm
taking away its legs.
I'm wondering, does this mist cloud just go away in the desert because it's hot and dry? Did he just turn himself into rain?
He evaporated himself. Yeah. No, like magic.
Oh. Now, I was so going to roll and see.
I think 5 minutes have gone by. We have a cassowary again. And the bison's going, "Oh, look, it's back. How weird."
Next to the tallow candles. Yes. So what does Carl do now?
Oh, jeez. I think let's attack him again.
Sure, why not?
8. Getting closer.
Cassowaries don't give up.
If it just would have been in a dungeon, it could have been Dungeon Crawler Carl the Cassowary.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Mike,
yes.
The bison's going to take a kick at it as it goes by, but he's going to need a 16 to hit it.
4.
Bison drops to his front knees. Figure, okay, I'll get some more water.
Are there trees nearby?
Yeah, there's date palms.
Yeah. Date palms
filled with fruit.
All right, let's have the cassowary. Let's have Carl attack the tree and see if we can drop some fruit on the bison.
Okay, what do I need to roll, Ro?
Dude, I think if he can't hit a tree, you know what?
Anything but a 1.
Go for an 8, Mike. Anything less than an 8, he runs into the tree.
Okay, I see a tea party happening here. 9. Woo!
Okay, he's successful in attacking the tree. He deals it a glancing blow. Does not dislodge any fruit from the tree. The bison is now stood back up and looking, going, "What is the matter with that bird?" This is like, what if the Roadrunner were on Downers?
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
So, Carl, take it away.
Just I give up and go and have a drink of water.
Okay. So this is the second time we end up with a tea party ending.
This is how you doing? What's up?
You can't fight them, so you just drink with them.
Sometimes the killing just isn't meant to be.
It is the Australian way.
It'll be the long play. I'm going to
Get his
develop a friendship, gain his trust, and then backstab him.
Mike, roll for the backstab.
Stealth attack.
12.
Okay.
Getting better.
Yeah. The bison walks away. It's been drinking for like 10 minutes. He's done. He's like just kind of
victory.
Gonna go lay down under that tree.
So the cassowary now has its territory again. So you're right, victory.
Yes.
That's all it wanted.
Oh, gosh. Oh, it's the most random D&D I've ever played.
We're all about the random. So, what are you working on now?
The prequel to Ancora.
You're working on the prequel to it.
Yes.
Okay. Is this going to show like how the aliens got there, or?
Yeah, we're going to take place about 60 years after they got there. So you're going to learn all about them. But in Ancora, she's actually our main character's following the steps of a historical figure that went missing while he was looking for a way to defeat the aliens. So it's going to be about that character.
Oh, okay. So this
basically the rebellion, essentially.
Ancora takes place then long after the aliens have already been there.
Yeah, it's about 300 years.
And people are still alive? Like modern day people have managed to live 300 years without cell phones?
It's not your standard. It's not Independence Day alien invasion. It's more of we kind of handed them the reins, essentially.
Oh, we're doing that now.
Yeah, pretty much. So
okay,
it's that slow takeover.
Death? Yes.
Yeah. Slow takeover. And then, very few realize what's going on, and those that do kind of have had enough, and so a rebellion forms.
Bloody rebellions. Yeah. Bloody peasants.
That's it.
So when do you expect this book to be out?
I've put it out for end of the year, late, but it's moving very fast. Like I'm almost 20,000 words into it, and I did that in a couple of weeks. So,
Jesus.
First draft.
How much do you put down on a page when, like, if you say I'm going to sit down and write today? How many words do you put out?
It depends on the session. Usually, like one sitting, maybe a couple thousand words. But I had a really good week this week. I think in 3 days I did 12,000 words.
Oh wow!
Over 3 days. Yeah,
that's a good couple of months actually.
When I know like where the story's going, when I just have the ideas in my head, it's really quick for me to put them out. The problem comes when I do the second draft and I add stuff and remove things and new ideas come. It's kind of tough.
And those new ideas. So is it going to be kind of in the same 50,000 word kind of range?
No, this is looking bigger. I'm thinking I've broken it down into sections. So I'm going to have part 1, part 2, part 3, but still under one book, still under one cover. So maybe 60,000 words it may end up being.
Okay. So well within my reading range. That's good.
Yeah. I don't like huge books. Like
smart man. See?
I'm slow. I'm a slow reader and I kind of like to write what I'd want to read,
Okay, don't be like those Canadians and write really long books.
That's it.
578 pages.
Yeah,
well, they have to do it in French as well, though, Mike. You see. So it's,
I had someone recently ask me if I do the audiobook for their book, and it's 600 pages. And I'm like
600, and
I'm going like 600 pages. I'm like, I can't read. Like, to read that book without recording would probably take me a year. You want me to sit there and intentionally read it? It's probably going to take 2, 3. I just
600 pages is a very long book.
Yeah. See, Tim is getting me read his book by telling me it's actually 3 books in one. So,
well, Tim, if it is 3 books in one, you've missed a fine marketing opportunity to make it 3 books and triple your sales. But I've only sold 1 book in the last 2 months. So what the hell do I know?
So you do audiobooks for people or just for yourself, or?
Sorry?
Do you do audiobooks for other people you narrate, or just yourself?
No. I did a narration of Ancora, the prologue, just for a test. I put that out. People liked it, but I don't think I got the patience for it, to be honest. Like, I want to get there eventually, but it's just hard.
Yeah. See, I hate my voice, so I never ever watch these shows ever. Because I can't stand it. So I could never do that unless it was just the one take. And sorry, you get to hear all the coughing and whatnot.
I would cry, Tim, if I had to pay someone to record a 600-page book.
Yeah.
That would be awful. It's like, why don't I just give you my car instead?
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Ooh.
All right. So what other fun things you got coming up, Jay?
That's pretty much it. I'm just focusing on the prequel. Got some great podcast episodes coming out. We're well ahead with the recording, so I can back off a little bit and breathe.
How often do you put it out?
We do 1 a week, but a few weeks ago we had so many backed up that we put 3 out in a week.
Wow.
And usually, do you get people just by like them calling you up saying, "Hey, I'd love to be on your show"?
Yeah, well, pretty much. I think it was like about 3 months ago. Someone messaged me and said, "Do you still do podcasts?" And I said, "Yeah." They're like, "We've got 50 people that want to come on."
Wow.
And I was like, "Slow down." Not all at once. That would have been easier.
Right.
But yeah, so he said, and he gave my details out to probably about 10 or 15 people. And so it's just been people keep reaching out, and I prefer it that way because you don't have to really go looking for people.
Jay, I'd like to be on your podcast.
Cool. I'll make a note of that. Make a note of that.
So I'm actually going to be on his podcast July 4th. The
recording.
We're
recording. Yeah. Recording next week. This time next weekend.
Yes, and then
roughly
Jay have to do a crazy amount of work to try to make me look intelligent and entertaining.
Jay, you got to do this if you want that podcast to really sing. Tell him he has to read chapter 18 out loud of that book back there.
Daily Traveler. I'm not reading chapter 19 either.
Cannot be on your show unless he reads that chapter out loud. Trust me.
It'll sell.
He's not trying to cut guests. At least I don't think so.
No.
If you won't do it, have a copy yourself so you can read it.
So we can read it.
That's when it's like this guy don't leave.
The red will come right from his neck all the way up over his dome. It'll be beautiful.
It actually starts at my ears and goes this way.
You'll never regret it.
Noted.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's Saturday there for you, right? So you probably got shit going on.
Yeah, I got my sister's birthday thing happening in an hour or so.
All right. Well, tell her happy birthday from Mike and I. And if she doesn't get the present today, it got lost in the mail. Sorry.
Okay.
But if she likes and subscribes, we'll send it again.
Oh, that's right. Subscribe. And all of her friends. She needs at least 85 friends.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll send her a T-shirt.
Look, she doesn't even subscribe to my podcast, so she doesn't even listen. Like, I think that my whole family have listened to my podcast once, and it's because we had someone on that they like.
That's harsh. To be fair, my family don't listen to this either, which is probably just as well, if I'm honest.
Well, I have one brother who does pay attention. The other one has never watched.
Dan's here all the time. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, Dan has no life.
I like you.
Yeah, he's a moment.
Not to say the rest of you out here don't have a life. I'm sure you all have very important things to do, and you're just, feeling bad for us. And this is a sympathy watch, and we thank you for that. We're not proud.
Yeah. And if you haven't liked and subscribed,
Right,
do that.
Please do that.
Or I'll tell you what the highlight of my year was this week.
No, don't make him do that, please. Has to do with 2 dermatologists.
Oh, fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you have a lovely day down there. Enjoy
Thank
winter.
you.
It's
Yes.
it's hotter than Satan's bum up here right now. Well,
Yeah, polar opposite right now.
what's that?
It's the polar opposite down here. It's freezing.
Yeah, it'll be hot enough soon, I'm sure.
Yes, it gets very humid. Like, step outside and you just drip.
Yeah,
Oof.
it's that way here too. No.
Yeah.
All right, let's go play Skyrim. Nice. Okay. On that note,
Yeah.
thank you everybody for joining us. And before you leave, let me tell you that our next show will be the 30th, which is what, Monday?
It
Monday
is.
at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
with Jamie Odom, an award-winning book, Mike.
She won the Spithbow 10 by Blood by Salt.
We have the actual winner
Yes.
on this show.
We had the Sphinx winner when we had Tim Carter from with Major Domo, and now we got by Blood by Salt author.
Wow, we are moving up in the world.
Just to make your day, it's her first book ever, and she won Spithbow.
Well, if that won't get you subscribers, I don't know what will.
I'm done. Good for her. That's awesome. All right, let's wave awkwardly and thank you everybody. Like and subscribe and all that, and have a good weekend.